What is up out there, podcast family, and welcome back to another episode of the Hook It podcast. Today, I'm going to be joined by my buddy Jack Plowman, who is the owner of the Asylum skatepark here in the UK. It's a super interesting episode. We take a deep dive into what it's like to create, manage, and run a skate park. And if you've ever thought about doing it, then this episode is for you. But before we get into it, I want to give a quick shout out to some of our show sponsors. First of all, Works and their portable pressure cleaner, the HydroShot. The Works HydroShot redefines the way you spray water to remove dirt, dust, and grime anytime, anywhere. Unlike conventional pressure washers that require a bulky body unit, a mains connection, and a garden hose attached to a tap, the HydroShot runs on a PowerShare battery and draws fresh water from any source, i.e. buckets, ponds, bottles, rivers, so they're perfect for if you're at the track or you're just wanting to do a quick wash job after a ride. The rotating head allows switching from mist through to pulsating sprayer capable of eliminating caked on dirt. Available in numerous models, they do a full kit version, which includes a soap bottle attachment. They do a body only version and also the new brushless model too. The Works HydroShot is capable of producing up to 10 times the power of a water hose. The HydroShot includes the 20 volt PowerShare battery that you can use to power all other Works 20 volt tools too. Share the batteries and save money. The HydroShot is available from selected retails only, which include Amazon, Argos, Halfords, Toolstation, and the official eBay store. Or you can head to works-europe.com. And I want to say as well, these guys joined the podcast a few episodes, maybe 4 or 5 episodes ago, and it's been awesome to see so many people go out and buy one of these things and share videos with me. So massive thank you to that. It really, really helps keep these sponsors on board. So if you do need a jet wash, head over, check out the Works HydroShot. We are also brought to you by the Lords at saxunderwear.com. If you listen to this and you still need to figure out some of those last minute Christmas gifts, then look no further than Sax Underwear. Or let's just throw a spanner in the works. It's not Christmas and you still listen to this. Buy a pair of Sax anyway, either for yourself or for that important dude in your life. There's nothing better than giving someone a sick pair of underwear that's going to change their life. If you're a new listener to the show and you're probably wondering what is so special about Sax, let me tell you real quick. Sax feature a bunch of patented features. Take flat seams, for example. No more chafing. They have an anti-roll waistband so it doesn't dig in your overhang after you've eaten your Christmas dinner. They have moisture wicking functionality, which keeps you cool and dry. And of course, the patented ballpark pouch, which, if you haven't seen it, imagine an upside down hammock which cradles your nutsack and prevents skin on skin friction. Insane comfort. Every episode of this podcast, we do a giveaway to win a pair of Sax underwear too. And this episode, we're going to do a double giveaway because it's Christmas and I didn't do it on the last episode. So if you are out there and you want to win a pair of Sax underwear, all you have to do is 2 things. You either have to share the episode on your social media. So if you're listening now, just stop, take a screenshot or whatever, and just share the episode on your social media. Don't forget to tag today's guests and also the Hook It podcast, or head to iTunes and leave a review. Simple as that. On this episode, I'm going to choose 2 people. So let me just open up iTunes real quick. If your iTunes handle is Ricardo_smooth or Daquan808, then you have won yourself a fresh pair of Sax underwear. So just reach out through either an email or social media and we will get some fresh underwear on the way to you, hopefully just in time for Christmas, so you can re-gift them if you really want to. If you're interested in getting yourself a pair of Sax underwear, head to your local skate, outdoor, snow, fashion or whatever retailer, or head to saxunderwear.com. Prices start at just 20 quid. Nothing to lose. We're also brought to you really quick by hookitproducts.co.uk. If it wasn't for Hookit, the lights wouldn't be on. There would be no podcast. This thing would not be happening. So if you want to support the podcast, head over to hookitproducts.co.uk where you will find a range of products for mountain bikes or action sports or whatever. Enter the promo code podcast and that will knock 10% off anything and everything on the store. All right, guys, I'm trying to keep this intro short because I'm pretty sick. I have a throat infection, I think, maybe a sinus infection to go with it, and I feel pretty bad. It took a few weeks to get this episode laid down. I had to keep cancelling on Jack, so public apology for that. But before we get into it, bit of housekeeping. Guest of the Year nominations are now live. We do this every year. It gives you, the listener, the chance to vote for your favourite guest of 2019. And for making a vote, you go into a prize draw to win a whole host of prizes. We've got stuff from Muck Off, Hydroshot, the Works Hydroshot. We got one of those. We got Sax underwear, all sorts of stuff, guys. So just head over either on Instagram or look for it on Facebook, whatever. You'll find a link to vote for your favourite guest of 2019. And also, I want to say a massive thank you too. You know, this is probably going to be the last episode of this year. And there's so many people I want to thank for making this podcast reality. And I mean, there's so many. The list's too long. I started making a list and I just sacked it off. But you know you guys are, whether you're a marketing manager in a company, whether you're a show sponsor, Jace over at Gypsy Tales, either of the other fellow podcasters that I speak to. But most importantly, I want to say a big thank you to everybody out there that's listened and supported this podcast throughout 2019. The podcast has grown exponentially. It's kind of crazy how big this thing is right now, and it's all down to you guys for putting in the work, listening, for engaging, sharing it with your friends. It's pretty much only done via word of mouth, this thing. We don't run any adverts really or anything like that. So again, before I get into this episode, I just wanted to make sure I said a massive thank you to everybody out there. So if you're listening and you've listened to a few episodes, give yourself a pat on the back. You've really, really helped build something special, and thank you. Okay, I promised on the last episode too that we would drop a fresh Zeb track. So without further ado, let's hand over to Odub and then get into a brand new exclusive written exclusively for this podcast music from Zeb. Enjoy the episode, guys. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. See you in 2020, if I don't speak to you before. Peace out.
Welcome to the Hook It podcast, endorsed by @odub_23. Add me, tag me. Follow me. Please follow me.
This is Mountain Church. This is where I'm going to confess my sins. Pen in my hand, reading my pain onto the page. I'm feeling nothing. I'm feeling nothing when I'm right there. I'm feeling nothing. I'm feeling nothing until you came.
Cool. Right. Okay, do one of them. You can find that on there. All right, bro, let's do this.
Yeah, let's do it.
Appreciate it. Thanks for taking time out and coming in and ripping this episode.
Yeah, man, no sweat. Thanks.
Finally, we can make it happen. My fault for having to cancel on you a couple of times, to be honest. But yeah,
It's all good.
sickness bugs, dude. Sickness bugs.
Yeah, we've got it coming, mate.
I think you
All the
have.
kids through the door.
Yeah, you got it coming.
We've got it coming. All over Christmas.
So there's obviously loads of reasons I wanted to get you on here.
Yeah.
Tons. Main thing, this place, obviously. You've fucking got a fantasy factory, basically.
A little bit.
I was thinking about that on the way here. I'm like, I used to watch Fantasy Factory. That's sort of like my generation, I think.
Yeah, same, man.
Like 15, 16, maybe a little bit older. Probably too old, actually. And always dreamt of having like that.
Yeah,
thing.
it's insane, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
still walk in the morning, like most mornings, especially the new one. Like, the old place, kind of, we just got used to it. You know, you walk in every morning, you was just back at work, but like, because the novelty factor's still there with this, you walk in and you go, holy shit! Like, this is ours.
It's insane.
Yeah,
So cool. And like when we obviously first walked in, like the ore factory, just coming through the door and just seeing all the ramps and blah blah blah. So. Could take a bit of a deeper dive into it today, which will be pretty fun.
sick. Yeah,
Figure out how all this came around and stuff, and obviously relatively young as well.
Yeah,
to have all
getting
this.
on a bit now, but no, I'm
What are
still
you,
relatively
28?
28. Yeah,
28.
Yeah, 29 January.
Okay, so to have all this, I mean, yeah, go all the way back. I mean, Asylum, when you first opened the first
yeah.
one, how old were you when you started that?
22.
Jeez.
Yeah, that was a challenge within itself.
Yeah.
You know, asking people for a substantial amount of money at 22 when you're covered in tattoos and look like a scumbag. It's, you know, it's like, ain't giving you nothing, mate. Yeah, we got there, you know, it took some doing. Like, that was probably the hardest bit of the first build, was getting that initial money to do it.
Really?
Yeah, like the first build went absolutely perfect.
Right.
Like, everything was done on time, within budget, and it was perfect.
Right.
And then, I couldn't have asked for anything more, really. Like, and this one's been a bit of a nightmare, but
Yeah, it looks like it.
yeah. Well, you know, it's a lot bigger project, and I think it was always going to be, you know, you can't do a project involving this much money and this much kind of materials and everything and not have a few little slip-ups.
For sure. Yeah, a lot of people involved as well and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, a lot of friends involved as well, which, you know, kind of sometimes bites you in the arse a little bit as well.
Yeah. It's one of them, innit? You try and keep it close. I've done the same, man, with other projects. Like, you try and keep it close, keep your mates involved, but then sometimes friends and money and business is
exactly, man. It goes one way or the other. Like we've had mates involved that have been, I could not ask for anything more. Like, on a friendship level, on a work level, like just the guy, like the ramp builders, like Vision Ramps, and Jake works for Vision, but Jake's kind of, he's his own guy. He kind of floats. He'll do his other jobs, but then he'll work for Vision when there's work there.
Right.
But like his work ethics, man.
Really?
Never met, other than my own man, I've never met anybody that works like him. It's insane.
Really?
Yeah. Like, but it's so good, like, just to see where he's come from as well. Like, when we built the first skate park, he was, I think, 16, maybe just 17. Came to volunteer. He was like, "Oh, I want to help you, dude." Like, I was like, "All right, yeah, cool, that's no sweat." Turned up the first day with like 3 tool bags, fucking saws, chop saws, and everything. I was like, "Fucking hell, this kid's serious." Like, he's either really after a job or he's actually wanting to help, kind of thing. I set him about it. Like, set him up the first day. Like, set the mini ramp up in the corner over there, and that was it, man. We didn't see him for the rest of the day. He just disappeared, went and done his work, and went over at the end of the day. It was like, fuck me, you're good. Like, for a kid, you are insanely good. And slowly got him out of his shell and stuff. He was really quiet, wouldn't speak to anyone, kind of wouldn't stop for dinner, wouldn't have a cup of tea off you, kind of thing. Yeah. And then, like, George, who owns Vision, George is like,
a Scottish company, is it? Or no?
Scottish company. They built every park in Scotland.
Right.
Like, they're insane.
Really?
Best ramp builders in the world.
Yeah.
You know, well, I say that I don't know every ramp builder in the world, but, you know, Westland and them boys are pretty good. But George and John are really,
I guess when it comes down to having
good.
someone do this, there was like
no
question.
No question. Like, after the first build, and like, we made friends with them as well, like throughout the first build, and I think that kind of stuck with us. You know, they were at the first build. I was still living at home then before I had my house and everything. I was still with my mum and dad, so everyone was living at my mum and dad's house for the entire build. Like, we'd come at woodwork all day, just go back. My mum would have, like, you know, either done a barbecue or she'd have cooked for all the boys, and it was just sick, man. Like, we had such a good time, and I always said, like, I'd love to just rip it all out and do it again, just for the fun, because cool. You know, we had, like, don't get me wrong, the graft, like, the builds are hard, but then we had such a sick time doing it, just hanging out with them boys, and met some really good friends for it, like Kaj, one of the guys that, like, Kaj doesn't work for Vision anymore, he's out doing, like, his own things and stuff, but he's been doing a few little bits and bobs over the last few years, but when he found out that we was doing V2, he was like, kind of rung him, he was like so on board, literally dropped everything. He's like, yeah, man, come in straight on, wouldn't not come after the first build.
Sick.
But yeah, like, we speak to each other all the time, and like most of the lads off the first build, we all stay in touch. It's really nice.
Good.
Like, and just like I say, to see where Jake ended up from it all, from being that kid who volunteered,
run this whole project, right?
Yeah, volunteered at the first place, like, and then, like I say, I feel like Asylum to Jake's kind of always been like his kind of home as such, if that makes sense. Yeah. So like he was the first person that I mentioned to when I was like thinking of expanding, like not sure whether it's the right thing to do. I think it's the right thing to do, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And Jake was like, yes, I'm on board. Like, we could design something amazing. And I think because Jake didn't really have much to do with the initial design of the first park, I think for him to actually have full reign on something and just show what he could do was like really got him going.
Cool.
Like, he was so involved with it. But I mean, the guy must have 3 solid months straight of drawing just out of his laptop, just on, because such a long story.
Oh man, that's cool.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's like, this has been in 3 different buildings now. So
Right, okay.
we've got screwed with 2 other buildings.
Okay.
Certain things, you know, fell through. And what Jake had done, he'll start by drawing the building, and then he'll start putting the ramps in, and everything's laid out millimetre perfect. So not only has he drew all them buildings and done all the designs, and then me have to go, I'm so sorry, man, but I've been fucked with this building. This guy's screwed me over. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
For him to still then, when I've come to him the 3rd time around and say, be buzzing again, you know, I found this building, it's massive, it's perfect, like, and then him still be like, yeah man, let's do it, and still be up for sitting and drawing with me. It blows my mind. Like, if he would have turned around to me and gone, you know what, I've just done 2 drawings for you, fuck off mate, I'd have been like, fair enough, yeah, deserve that. But no, and yeah, he's done such a sick job, man. Like, I mean, there was like the majority of the design works Jake's, like all the bowl stuff. George had a little bit of stuff to do with like the blend on the side of the jump box and stuff, you know.
Okay.
Them guys have helped each other a lot with it, but like Jake had the majority kind of design work in it, and especially in the cafe and reception area, you know, where we are now. Like, he's done
sickest place ever to record a podcast, dude.
Man,
he's got to do more of these. Just to sit here and just hang out, it's so cool.
But no, he's done such a sick job of it all, man, and it's kind of took it to the next level from just being a skate park. It's not just a cold, empty warehouse anymore. You know, it's parents can come and sit, get a nice cup of coffee, nice food, and you know, sitting somewhere warm and actually watch what's happening. I think
what did you have before then? I can't remember. You had the cafe at the top, didn't you?
We had the cafe at the top, yeah. Originally it was all outside, like it was all just kind of an open seating area.
Right.
So like throughout the winter, parents had come and mum was doing them 3 cups of coffee and tea just because we felt bad for them and
Really?
giving them blankets and stuff because they were freezing. But, you know, it's all we could afford at the time, and it did its job. And then eventually we put walls around it at the old place, and it was all enclosed, and everyone was like, oh my God, best thing ever. Thanks for doing this kind of thing. But then, just it was never really that big. There was only like 4 little tables in there, and Saturdays and Sundays you'd have 30 parents in there, and it was like a sardine can.
But
warm, yeah. Oh yeah, warm. Like the windows would be dripping with like, it was horrendous. But yeah, then obviously when we kind of knew we was coming here, like we'd really thought about what we wanted and where we wanted it, and really spent a lot of time trying to make it right.
Do you think as well that that's partly like when you started with the first build? Like scooters weren't as big as well then. Do you think like younger kids have got into
I went into the first skate park almost blind.
Really?
Like I've kind of, you know, I come from a motocross background, and I've always rode my BMX in between, and that's all it ever was like just something to fill in the gaps between my motocross days with something. And then, you know, you meet guys along the way and kind of get involved with the BMX bunch, and then as I kind of got to like 17, 18. It was getting to the point with motocross where it was like, right, do you want to do this and be good at it and not work? Yeah. Which you can't afford to do. No. Unless you've got really rich parents. Or, you know, are you going to go racing on a Sunday with the chance of smashing yourself to bits and then having 6 weeks off work, losing your job and everything else? Yeah. So it was like kind of, that took a back seat a little bit, and I was riding the BMX more and more and seeing old faces that I'd not rode with for ages, and really started getting into it again. Like bumping into, do you know Rowie? Surely you know Matt Rowe?
Yes.
Like Rowie's gone down the mountain bike route now.
That's
and
right,
he rides a mountain bike like he rides a BMX.
Really?
And it's like
I know
insane to watch, man. He is so good. The most bike control ever. He's insane.
I think the last time I seen him ride, did he run Village?
No, that's Robbo.
That's Robbo.
Yeah,
I always get those guys.
Rowie and Robbo are really good friends. Yeah, they're always down at Village. But yeah, Robbo's a sick guy as well, man. Like, I had a really bad back accident actually a few years back. Yeah, and like told him it said
fell down a cave.
Dropped down the cliff. Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, and like told him he'd never walk, man. And like he's back on a bike. He was in there last week shredding and absolutely killing it on a bike still. Just to see that dude's resilience, man. Like, just to give him the finger and just say "fuck you," I'll do it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I heard he fell down a cliff or something.
Like, like just started riding with like Rowie and people like that again, and proper got the love for it. So then we was travelling from like the Midlands area, was going like all over the country just to ride. We'd finish work on a Friday, it'd be like, right, where can we go riding? Yeah. And you end up at Corby and other places like that. And I mean, hats off to Mandy with what she's done with Corby over the years is insane. The place is incredible. And well, hats off to anyone that runs a skate park. To be fair, like Christ,
more than anyone.
Like, I've got respect for anybody that takes it on because it is a ball ache at times.
I can imagine.
But yeah, we was travelling all around, and it was kind of, we was enjoying ourselves and stuff. But there was never the vibe at an indoor park that you'd want. Okay. I don't know, it's weird to explain. It was almost everywhere you turned up, it was like anything you can do, I can do better kind of thing. Everyone was looking at each other, comping each other out, and it's just like, it's not about this, man. Like, I don't care how good you are on a bike, just have fun, man. Do you know what I mean? That's what it's supposed to be at the end of the day. It's a getaway, innit, from life. Sure. So then, I mean, mum and dad had looked at doing a skate park. I can't remember what year it would have been. It was 10, 12 years ago now.
Your mum and dad had already looked at it, really?
Yeah, like we'd split, but I was a teenager then, like young teenager, and it was kind of something that they looked like they were fed up of going to like Derby Storm, like was where I learned how to ride a BMX.
I forgot about that place.
Yeah, man. And like they was fed up of going to Storm and being in the same situation of kind of going into a cold, empty unit and having to stand with me for 6 hours in the freezing cold and not have nowhere to sit and stuff. So they were like, let's have a look into this, maybe we can make it work kind of thing. And then we really got into it, and it was like you kind of have to lay so much on the line with any business though, I guess, And they kind of like, my dad bottled it a little bit at the last minute, I think, and which is fair enough, he's worked hard all of his life, so has my mum, and to put everything that
they were like willing to put
a certain amount in, but then when we actually got into it and they realised how much it does actually cost to build and stuff, it was kind of like a no-go, which was really weird actually, because the building that we was originally going to go in back then was 2 units down from where we're sat right now.
No way.
So,
Really?
So crazy.
All comes full circle, doesn't it? But why this location as well? Obviously you're from around here, but
and we're smack bang in the middle of everywhere. Like easy access off the M1.
True.
The old unit was good if you drove because it was straight off the motorway, whereas here is literally a 2-minute pedal from Sutton Town Centre. 5-minute pedal from Mansfield Town Centre. We're 2-minute pedal from train station that links you to Nottingham City Centre. Right. So you can get on a train and be here in 10 minutes from Notts, which is perfect. Yeah. And it's just a really, really good location. Like, couldn't have asked for anything more, really.
Right. Cool.
But yeah, like back to the old place, we. I wanted to find that vibe, and I'd had an accident in my old job. I'm a fabricator welder by trade, and had a little fight with a bandsaw. And
what happened?
Lost that one. I nearly lost my index finger and my middle finger on my left hand, crushed my hand.
Is that what you did? So you were a chippy before?
Fabricator welder.
Fabricator, sorry.
Yeah. Just about to finish City and Guilds and everything, and then I went and done that, which is a completely different story on its own, but it shouldn't have happened, It was one of them accidents, it was a freak accident, it shouldn't have happened, shouldn't have been allowed to happen, weird situation kind of job.
Right.
But, I did, it was a shit few years after that, like in and out of surgeries and stuff, couldn't ride my motocross bike, couldn't ride my BMX, I just couldn't hold on to any handlebars or anything, so I went for a pretty shit time. Like, looking back on it now, at the time I thought I was fine, I was just like, yeah, whatever, just over it a bit, do you know what I mean? But looking back, I was in a pretty shit place.
Really?
Man. Like taking it out on my mum and dad and stuff, like they've always fucking been so supportive of my whole life, you know what I mean? And like, I was fucking taking shit out on them, but because I weren't working and stuff, because I couldn't work, my hand was fucked, it was like, I was just so frustrated more than anything, I think, more than that. And then, yeah, just ended up, one thing led to another, and seeing someone, and they was like, oh, you need to find something that you enjoy doing, or you're going to either kill yourself or kill somebody, because you've got a lot of anger. I was like, I know I have.
Really? Like, just pent up,
just pent up, man. Sat around, and I shouldn't have been put in the position that I was in with that, and it shouldn't have happened. And the fact that I'd lost my job through it and everything else, it just really pissed me off. Like, and the MD at the time, the company that it happened for, was an absolute bellend. Like, he was such a prick with me through the whole thing. And I was just like so angry about it. I was just like fucking raging, just wanted to kill him. But yeah, you know, and I seen this guy and he was like, find something, like, what do you enjoy doing? And I was like, you know, well, riding bikes is all I've done all my life, and that's what I want to do. Do you know what I mean? And he's like, well, what can you do? I was like, well, I can't do it. And it's like, there's got to be something. And the old park was next to a go-kart track. I went down there just for, there was a birthday party for my mates, and I was going to watch him on the go-karts and stuff. And Matt, who owned the go-kart track at the time, was like, you still looking at doing a skate park, dude? I was like, Jesus, mate, like, that was my mum and dad's deal, like, years and years ago,
really,
you
like,
know?
years
It's
ago
like,
before.
I can just remember you saying it. It's like, the unit next door's just come available, that's all. Like, I was like, all right, cool. He's like, I've got the keys, do you want to have a look around it? I was like, well, that could be interesting, like. Stuck my head in, like, literally walked through the door and was like, holy shit, like, this could be perfect. Like,
No way.
You know, it's in a good place, and it's kind of not too big that you'd want to take it on and have to risk too much. Well, not risk too much, but, you know, if you had a shit month, it'd probably still be manageable. And that's how that came about, you know. I was going to say, at the time we was travelling to other skate parks and stuff, like, I wasn't riding that much because of my hand, but I was riding what I could. I'd kind of do 20 minutes and have a sit down for half an hour and try and get some feeling back in it, and then have another go, you
that
know.
bad?
Yeah, it's still fucked now,
still
man.
bad?
Like, yeah, my index finger doesn't look straight, and that's...
I remember you showing me that actually a while
it's
ago.
all scarred up pretty bad, and I did love that one. That my middle finger, like, from that knuckle down, just fully slid the skin, like, all the way back off of it, and it was pretty gnarly, but it's getting there, man.
And you right-handed?
Right-handed, luckily,
yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah, if it would have been my dominant hand, it would have been a
Different
proper-
story. Might not be it.
It was horrendous, mate. Like, straight off, I mean, I've worked all my life. I love coming to work. I can't sit. I'm one of them people. I can't sit and do nothing, and just not being able to do what you do is
Yeah, I can't even
so
imagine it. To be
fucking
honest.
frustrating.
Like, I've never been in that situation.
Yeah.
No doubt people listening probably have, but
Yeah, definitely,
I've
man.
not.
Especially, you know, people that ride bikes and stuff. You always injured.
That's your
and-
freedom, innit?
Exactly, man. Yeah, and it was such a shit place, but yeah, you know, every cloud has its silver lining, and
Sounds like it for sure.
here we are.
Yeah. So, what was the next step then? Like, how the fuck do you go about opening a skate
I
park?
don't know. It's all a blur. We basically winged it, and
Went down B&Q, bought some
screws.
timber.
But no, we can't. You know, I kind of went home after seeing that unit, and my mate Lee at the time, like, he's my best pal. He's like, bit of a cunt, but he's mint, love him. But no, we like kind of got in the van, and I was like, "Do you think that could work?" And he's like, "I don't know, man." He's like, "You know, keep driving to all these other skate parks, and you know, it's not really what we're looking for in a skate park and stuff. Like, why wouldn't it work? Nobody else seems to be doing what we think
Like should be done almost.
Yeah,
right.
yeah. So I kind of went home and like sat down with my mum, and I was like, what do you think? Like, Matt's given me the keys to this unit and it looks perfect. She's like, yeah, cool, let's go and have a look. I was like, seriously? She's like, yeah.
Mum and dad like retired at this point, or?
No, my dad's still working. Like, he builds coffins.
Does he?
Yeah,
Right,
so,
okay.
yeah, always have a job, won't he?
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, no, at the time he was working for a hire company. Mum was at I think she was at a primary school then still. Yeah, she would have been. Yeah, she was like reception and stuff.
Right.
But she was in civil service for years before that. Always grafted. My mum's like insane. Both my parents, like, work ethics.
Proper working class background.
Proper
yeah,
working class background, yeah.
What
like-
about, just quickly, like, on the come up, like, riding motocross and stuff, how was
Yeah.
that? Because working class background,
Yeah, it
same
was
as me.
Hard.
Hard.
Like, hard, mate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, so, like, honestly, like, I can't thank my mum and dad enough for everything that, just not with the skate park, everything through life. You know, having that. I think motocross gives you a really good kind of start in life because it makes you a really grounded person. It kind of makes you grow up faster.
I agree with you,
think.
totally. No matter what level.
Or
like,
any extreme sport
Yeah.
to that matter, you know. But then on the flip side of that works well for parents because they've got something that they can take away from you if you're being a little bastard, you know.
True.
So
True. And it's a good social for them. Like,
of course it is, you know.
Probably
My
same
dad
as you.
misses motocross more than I do nowadays.
Same.
Like,
Yeah, same.
He absolutely, he'd love another bike.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
Yeah, like, so having, you know, they struggled through years of kind of buying me new bikes and kit, and, you know, they want you to have the best stuff, and kind of when you are doing all right at it, you need the best stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
But so then you've got people that's parents are millionaires, and, you know, they've got a track on the side of the house and they can ride every day after school. You never compete with that.
No, you can't. No, you're right.
So, you know, kind of...
That's kind of how we met then, isn't it? Because I was
Yeah, I
thinking,
guess so,
again, I was
yeah.
thinking about it
Yeah,
from the
yeah.
way here. I was like, how did we even... You're just one of those dudes, man. I just know you. Like,
Yeah, that's it.
I
yeah,
couldn't
yeah.
tell you
There's
how
so many
or
people
when.
like that through life as well. Like, there's so many people. It's like, oh yeah, I know him. It's like, how do you know? It's like, I don't actually
Yeah, I have
know.
no clue at all how we know each other, but
yeah, I think
we do.
no, I think I kind of know you from like when you would have been repping for
right.
motocross stuff back in the day for like, you know, like kits and
Yeah,
helmet brands and stuff.
Yeah.
And then obviously I know Jack and Ash really well.
Yeah.
Their relations.
Yeah.
you
So
know.
Jack's my I call him my half brother.
Yeah.
And Ash is my cousin.
And obviously
but
Jack runs a BMX shop now as well.
Of course.
Waller BMX, give
Yeah.
you a shout out. Yeah.
Holla.
Holla. Yeah.
Family business.
Family. Yeah, no, like Waller's a sick dude, man. Like what he does for the whole BMX community on the side of the shop and stuff, like sick dude.
Yeah.
Proper sick dude.
He is.
But yeah, like obviously knew all them boys from
Right.
motocross days, and I think kind of that's how we.
That's how we just know each other.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it because I just can't remember that time where I'm like, oh yeah, I remember meeting you like
Yeah.
there for the first time. It's probably all sorts of races.
Yeah, it's
or
like, yeah, and
fucking
like, I guess you know
whatever.
like Jad and Scrafton and
Yeah,
like that's kind of my era of motocross.
Okay,
So,
right, okay.
back
Similar.
when Jim was still knocking my graphics out and like trick kits and trick helmet wraps, you know, like I was
Trickiest guy in the pad at Jim's Grafton.
Oh mate, always.
Unreal. Well, I lived with Jim as well for, God, years, 4 years maybe. I
Yeah?
think I lived with Jim. Yeah, in Sheffield. When he moved to Sheffield.
Chef, yeah.
Yeah, I lived with Jim then.
Yeah.
So again, that's probably how we. I don't
Crazy.
know. Yeah, it is.
Mad,
it
isn't
is.
it?
Yeah.
Small
But-
world, dude.
Yeah, it is really small world, especially when you like extreme sports and this
Yeah.
sort of stuff, like motocross stuff. Motocross is a really small industry,
Yeah,
especially in the UK.
In the UK, yeah.
Everyone knows everyone. Everyone
Yeah,
knows
that's
each
it.
other's business.
that's it. Yeah.
I'm kind of glad to be out of it in some ways, but sort of not in
Yeah,
others.
there's
like,
certain aspects to it that I don't miss.
yeah.
You know.
This time of year is when I start
Oh,
missing it.
Yeah.
Because it's like Supercross season rolls around and I'm
yeah.
like, oh, I need another bike. And then you look outside and you're like, nah.
That's it, yeah. I'm going to go Finno or Fat Cats and drive around in like, you know, 2 foot of sludge.
Yeah, it's not for me.
Absolutely kill my mum's washing machine again. And yeah, don't miss them days. Well, I do miss them days because I was fast in mud. But,
Really?
Yeah, that's all I was good at.
But that like come up, it sounds like
Yeah.
relatively similar, you know, sort of struggling by. And
That's it, yeah, you
always
know.
trying to get
Yeah,
a
mum
kit
and dad worked all, like I say, as hard as they could all their life just to get, like you say, to keep you going with the motocross and stuff. And then, you know, we actually bought a motorhome for the last couple of years that we were racing. And then when we packed up, because like when I messed my hand up, that was like the final kind of nail in the coffin for motocross days, I guess,
Right.
with it being clutch hand. You know, by the time I've got my middle finger on my clutch lever, I've only really got my ring finger and my little finger and my thumb that's holding on. And, you know, I actually borrowed a bike this year and went out for a few laps, and I was fast for 2 laps, man, but then I got arm pump and that was it. Like, it was even worse than normal arm pump because I couldn't hold on with his hand as well. Like, every corner just savage tank slappers, just like, I'm going to pull in now before I die. But yeah,
Good stuff.
yeah, that was kind of, like I say, the final nail that was doing my hand, and then the motorhome kind of sat on the drive then. That was it. Like mum and dad used to go, they would enjoy going like BSB and stuff. They used to go and watch superbikes and bits and bobs. They'd take the camper, but it was, you know, 2 or 3 times a year. And it was kind of a lot of money just sat there on the drive doing nothing. So when I approached mum for the skate park side of things, she was like, we'll just sell the camper.
Right,
I
wow.
was like, seriously? Like, she's like, yeah, it's not getting used. Like, if it means, you know, you kind of getting back on your feet. I mean, at the end of the day, the only reason my mum's done this is for me,
Yeah.
and which makes me feel horrendous.
Really?
But,
No,
you
it's-
know, I think it'll come good for her in the end. I hope it comes good for both of us, you
Yeah.
know, and she's had a good time as well as I have, I think.
Your
you
mum
know,
seems
like,
happy
over
as
the
pie
year.
here, man.
Yeah,
Just
like,
she works in the cafe mainly, is that
yeah,
right?
that's it, yeah, but she does all the bookkeeping and
Right.
stuff behind
Yeah.
closed doors, and the amount of paperwork that she does on a monthly is insane, and she's so good at it.
Right,
Like,
right.
I can't even put it into words. Like, for how much money we earn from this place for the work that we both do is sometimes makes it hard.
Yeah,
but,
no
you
doubt,
know,
no doubt.
Same for everybody, I guess.
It is, yeah.
But then on the flip side, it has its perks, and you see kids come through the door that, you know, wouldn't have anything to do if we weren't here. You know, they'd probably be out on the streets stabbing each other like most of them are doing nowadays. And, you know, and then we get kids that come from 8 years old on a scooter that are now, you know, getting they're young teenagers, and we've seen them progress from coming in on a scooter to having like 4 hookups on a bike sponsorship and being some of the best BMX riders in the UK.
That must be awesome, man.
Mate, I'm like a proud dad when I do that.
I bet.
It's such a good feeling. So, you know, with what it lacks sometimes, it makes up for in other areas, you know. But
so tell me then, you got the keys, decided this was a good, sold the camper?
Sold the camper, went to every bank you can imagine with a business plan, like kind of, that was it. After I got it into my head that that's what we were doing, I just locked myself in the house for kind of a long time. Right. And just sat bashing figures out. From what I knew from visiting skate parks throughout my life, and, you know, kind of just a proper guess at figures, you know. You can't really say, oh, well, I think they'll do 50 people a day. I think there'll be 100 people a day, you know. And it was just kind of a guess. It was really a guess.
Were you nervous about like going into business?
Terrified. I wasn't a businessman. I was a 22-year-old lad, you know, fabricator welder, been in a workshop all my life, and, you know, that was it. I didn't have a clue about business, and fuck me, I soon realised that. Like, it was a bit of an eye opener, you know. I kind of chucked myself in at the deep end and had to learn the hard way, like. And same with Mum, you know. My mum she was kind of from a project management background, so I think that, well, obviously that's why the first build went so well. She project managed that to a T. It was perfect. Like the old landlord, like when we took the keys off of him, was like, so when are you going to be open? It was like 11 weeks. It was like, not a fucking chance. He's like multi-millionaire businessman, kind of done it all his life, you know. He's like, not a chance. So all right, fair enough, yeah. And we went over by 4 days.
Really?
Yeah. And he came in and he like shook his hand. He was like, fair play.
Wow.
Well, I think that's testament to the work ethics again for the ramp builders more than us, you know, because I guess once you start building, it wasn't us. We was only labouring for them. Back then, you know, I get a cut-in list off of the boys and just stand at the chop saw for 3 days solid, just chopping wood for them, you know. Well, yeah, it was.
Sounds
that
crazy.
Was the thing. It was almost like we got the keys and then. There was there was a little bit in between that where we had to find the ramp builders. So I didn't really I knew who John and George were just from, you know, like being involved with the scene and the industry as such. You know, you get to know these people, and obviously like 414 and Ramp Child and other ramp building companies, you know who they are from seeing other skate parks. Yeah. And then I guess it all comes down to Rob Andrews basically. Rob's works for More Large. But Rob used to be like pro BMX rider back in the day. Like he's BMX through and through. If he doesn't know something about BMX, it's not worth knowing, kind of thing. Like he's grassroots. But at the same time, the most humble dude. Like you could sit in a room with him for all day and he wouldn't mention anything about BMX to you. Like, you know, he's kind of that guy. He's such a sound dude.
Good.
But Rob was in from day one when we looked at doing it with my mum and dad. Rob was involved then. He was kind of like really behind us, like, we need it round here, like, let's, you know, willing to.
And there was like a bit of a
kind of a gap in the market as such, I guess, you know, kind of around here after Storm Shot in Derby. That was it. Like there was never no indoor parks.
Right.
There was one in Nottingham opened up a year before we opened the last park, but that was kind of, well, we was travelling there, and it was the same again. You get there, and it was like, it's all right, but it's really lacking a certain amount of things that you need to kind of, you know, make this a lot more enjoyable.
Got you.
And I think most of that was just down to kind of ramp building and how it's run more than anything. Same as every other park, you know, it's forwards and backwards, and you know, you ride it for 3 months and it's good fun, and then you're bored, you've done everything. So yeah, then obviously Rob kind of come and got involved again. I rung him again, like, oh, we're actually kind of serious about doing it this time. You know, we've got the building, we've got the keys. We're just waiting to find out if anyone's going to borrow us some money.
Right.
Are you up for coming and
how was that
look?
process, dude? Like, that's really
terrifying.
Yeah, but it's also like, how do you even You
So
just made a business plan.
yeah, business plan. Then obviously, mum put the money in from the motorhome, and then it basically ended up like, because of my age, we wanted to do it. I wanted to do it all myself, just to prove to myself.
I just feel like there'd be a lot of bank managers like, oh, look at this fucking kid covered in tattoos.
Yeah,
like
basically,
literally.
man. Yeah, that was it. Like you straight in stereotyping, you know, like you
wants a skate park.
Yeah,
like,
that's it. Yeah, you take a look at me and you think I'm a scumbag, man. You know what I mean?
I don't.
Well, yeah, you know me though. Do you know what I mean? But I get it all the time.
I know you're a
scumbag.
scumbag.
Yeah, you know I'm a scumbag. Class. Oh, I can't even argue it, mate. But yeah, well, no, it's like I say, you know, it was scary, like walking into a bank with this plan and going, right, I've got to convince this person that what's on this paper is actually going to work.
Yeah.
And actually deep down, not knowing if it is going to work or not, you kind of winging it a little bit. And then, you know, HSBC came back to us eventually after we got refused. Like, I got laughed at by three.
Really?
By three, like, yeah, three advisors in the bank. Literally laughed at me, like, you're 22. What the fuck do you think you're doing?
What sort of figures are you asking for? Out of interest? I mean, you don't have to be exact. Just be
it was 100k plus.
Right,
like,
okay.
It was a lot of money.
Yeah.
Well, I say a lot of money in the big scheme of things. It's not, but it is to the normal average person.
22 as well.
22, yeah.
Working class family.
I haven't got a pot to piss in, kind of thing. You know what I mean? It was a lot of money. Like, so yeah. Then kind of got laughed at by these people a few times and got a little bit disheartened with it. You know, it was almost like, is this going to happen? Are we kind of pissing in the wind a little bit with it, or is it a? And I was like, oh, well, we'll just keep plugging with it, you know, kind of got nothing better to do at the minute because I'm not working with my hand or whatever, do you know what I mean? And it was just, yeah, one thing led to another, and say HSBC finally come back, and the woman, Jo, at the time was like, she rung me, she's like, I keep going back to your business plan, and I really, really don't want to like it because it's got a lot of red marks on it and a lot of, you know, kind of, you shouldn't really be supporting this because of, you know, his age and vice versa, and there's kind of no background to it. But I absolutely love, like, your vision and what you kind of want to do.
Yeah.
And she's like, I think we can kind of support you a little bit. And that, as you say, one thing, we got a little bit of money out of him, wasn't as much as what we hoped.
Okay.
So it was a case of we build what we can afford, you know. And same here, like, you know, we built what we can afford. Like, if somebody gave me an open check, I'd build you the best skate park in the world. I mean, I don't think this one's far off, straight up.
Right.
And from a design point of view. But yeah, like, it's always money that holds you back. But the same in everything in life, I guess, you know. Yeah. So that's how that went down. They gave us some money, got the keys. Rob came down and he was like, yeah, it's like,
what do you have to like show to the ramp building companies and stuff? Because they're not just going to rock up and be like, yeah, cool. Like,
so me and the boys had sat. This was kind of before I was hanging about with Jake a lot, and it was me and Lee Man and my mate Dre and other people. It was like,
you sound like a rap group, bro.
A really shit rap group. But yeah, we were just kind of sat with a laptop on SketchUp, kind of drawing what was like, oh yeah, we'll just put jump box there, rhythm section here, and mini ramp there. And it was like, that's a fucking sick design, mate. That's going to be so good, do you know what I mean? And then, like, Rob introduced me to John and George from Vision.
Right.
And they was like, have you got an idea of what you want to build? I was like, dude, I've got it nailed. Like, I know exactly what I want to build. And George is laughing at this point, so is John, you know. Yeah. And they was like, all right, cool, well, if you've got any designs, send it me over, kind of thing. So pinged it over. He's like, how big's your building? I was like, 14,000 square foot. He's like, yeah, what you've built's probably about 60,000 square foot. I was like, shit. So guess we won't be building that then. So then they kind of was like, right, I think the best thing to do is we'll come and see you. You know, like, they took the journey down from Scotland. We had the keys for the unit at this point, you know. So there was a lot of work needed doing there. It was derelict when we took it on, pretty much. Full rewire.
Really?
All the plumbing had gone. There'd be some gypsies living on the land at the side of it. We took 18 lorries worth of stuff away from just what they'd left and out of the unit and stuff. It was in a bit of a pickle.
And that's all down to you to figure that out as well.
That was. But we had kind of a nice rent-free period because of that, you know, like, which at the time, the old landlord was being absolutely amazing with us. He was really supportive, kind of young kid wanting to get into business. I think that's how he saw it, was let's give him a little help, you know. So he was really chilled to start with, and he was like, yeah, we'll give you a nice rent-free period to get you on your feet. So all the while we was building and all the building work, we weren't paying rent, which was lovely.
Right.
So then, yeah, we kind of got it all cleared out and stuff. John and George came down, walked in, and it was like, it's not massive, but I think we can do something. So then we kind of sat down together and had a Chinese and started batting ideas about, it's like, how do you want it? It's like, well, I've rode trails all my life before, because that's all we had around here. After Storm Shot was, if you wanted to go and ride your bike, you was in the woods digging.
Right,
That's,
yeah.
or you was going to an outdoor skate park that was shit, and it was, make do kind of job. It was shit, yeah. So like coming from that trailsy, motocrossy sort of background, I've always been like more into kind of flowy stuff, you know, rather than your, say, park rats that are like, let's see how many tail whips we can do in the air and make it look horrendous. I'd much rather see someone do a really nice table or a big turn down, you know, like that kind of riding, you know, proper bowl riding. And so I was like, I kind of want a trailsy feel to it, but also I'd kind of want a bowl. And he's like, well, you can't have both. I was like, yeah, I know that. So let's build some jump boxes through the middle of the bowl and see how that goes. And that's basically what we started with, and kind of we just batted ideas off of each other. And when we started building the old one, it was kind of, we'd build something, and then George would be like, dude, what do you think to this? I think like now that's built, I think this would work really well here. And it'd be like, yeah, I think it would actually. And you know, them boys absolutely nailed that first design for the size of the building, for what they got in it. Was
because you've got to appeal to like a mass market as well as skaters,
of course,
BMXs,
man, yeah, that's it. And
this
is where I came unstuck a little bit with the first build. Was I was so set with BMX because that's what all I knew. You know, it was let's build something sick for BMXs, and then obviously you speak to ramp builders and they're like, have you actually thought about skateboarders or inliners or scooters? It's like not really. And like, well, you probably should, because without them, you're not going to be open for very long. Really, like, there was never a truer word spoken. Like, without them scooters, you would be so fucked. And as much as everybody complains about them,
oh man,
scooters are in the way.
You must have this conversation on the daily.
On the daily, mate. But you know, and you have to then try and explain to these people that it's a good thing, and it's really hard for them to see it at the time, but once that kid has been coming to the skate park for 3 years and he grows up and he wants to buy a BMX, that's then putting money into the BMX industry. And I mean, all the rippers that we've got on the team that we help out, like we help out a team of kids, kind of see a bit of potential in them, you know, from when they first start coming, and give them a little kick up the arse and a bit of help here and there and see where they go. And they've all done really, really well out of it. But on the flip side of that, they've done for us, you know, like they support us, they promote us.
Cool.
And it also, I think it helps them grow up a little bit, you know. They've got a bit of, you know, like I don't know, a sense of, not a worth as such, but, you know, they feel like because they're part of the park, they have to behave themselves, you know, because they know they're like, I've had their parents when they've been being bad at school, they'll come to me. They don't go to the kid no more, they come to me. They're like, dude, he's behaving, give him a seeing to, give him a good telling off, tell him he's not going to be on the team, he's not coming to the skate park.
What's that like for you then? That must be a trip, because you never expected that to happen from
it's
being
mental. And like,
this,
and just like even not random kids, but like local kids that I don't really like know from Adam, like come in and they confide in you. It's insane, especially my mum and Jane in the cafe and stuff. Like they'll go, like they'll be having bloody girlfriend trouble at 13, 14-year-old, and they'll sit and talk to my mum for 2 hours in the cafe. Like,
that's crazy.
This is why we did it, because like every other park you went to, there was no atmosphere. It was like, you know, and we wanted that family feel to it. And I think it is quite authentic, with it being me and my mum. It has got that family feel, you know, and everybody that comes through the door, we know personally now. They've been coming for a long time, and you know, even new people that come, like, I think because they're coming in and speaking to us, not somebody that we're employing to just work there who doesn't really care about, they're just there for a 9 to 5 for a paycheck. Like, I think it just makes it that little bit more.
Totally.
You know, the
I mean,
experience.
even I get that family feel here.
Yeah.
And I say even I, but like I come quite a bit, I guess, especially to the old park, calling and see you.
Yeah.
But straight away, like, we're here today, your mum's here, like, there's people, you know, there is that family vibe.
Yeah.
Like, definitely. And that must definitely come across.
Yeah.
And parents will
that's
like that as well,
that's
right?
the thing,
they're happy
like,
to leave the kids here for a bit.
Yeah, that's it. Oh, man, we get to a point where it's frustrating sometimes because they abandon kids on us. Like, mental, but yeah, it's nice. It's just a nice vibe. And I think Asylum's kind of known now for having that, you know, for having that nice vibe, you know, and people come from far away for a session, and it's still, you know, they'll sit on the back deck and the locals will have a laugh with them like their best mates, you know. It's not kind of, you don't rock into the park and it's like, oh, there's an awkward vibe in here. It's, you know, you're straight in on the sessions, everyone's having a laugh. And
that's good. Real cool. Cool. What was it like when you first opened the doors in the first place then? Like,
terrifying.
Yeah.
It's like, well, it was funny because me and Lee, like I say, I always go back to him, like my best pal, you know, and he's, at the time was like, he'd been like involved with the build for us. When I first met him, he was living on some dude's floor, wasn't working, bit of a scumbag, you know. He won't mind me saying that. But I always got on with him. Like, I knew him from like riding outdoor skate park. That's how I knew him. Like Sutton Lawn outdoor skate parks, where we kind of grew up, other than the trails, you know. And always got on with him. Not felt sorry for him, but he'd had it a bit shit, you know. Okay. And it was almost like, even though I didn't have much money back then, I still hadn't. But like even worse back then, you know, because I'd fucked my hand and I was bitting and bobbing for mates, you know, like fucking 20 quid a day here, 20 quid a day there. But if I had 20 quid, tenner of it were mine, tenner of it were Lee man's. Like, we'd go out, if I was having food, Lee'd have some food, like, 'cause he didn't have fuck all, man, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then obviously when it come to building the park, he was like there from day one, like helped us throughout the first build. And come to the first day opening, and there's just me and Lee man stood behind this reception desk like 9:30, we was opening at 10, and just stood looking at each other. I was like, do you think anyone will come? And he's like, yeah, I don't know, man, I think it'll be alright, kind of thing. And dude, we opened the doors and they were queuing to the end of the road, and we were just like,
really?
Oh,
that's
shit,
cool.
What the fuck have we let ourselves in for here? And it literally took us like 4 hours to sign everybody in to get and doing disclaimers. Like, we'd not even thought about that. Like, it was like, they'll just come in, they'll sign in, and it was like, you know,
all that stuff as well. Again, you don't even think of. So you figured out insurance, everything.
Yeah, you know, kind of. Mum's been on that side of things with me, helping. Like, she does a lot of that sort of stuff. Yeah. But daft things that you don't think about. There's so much, like, just with business. That's what, like I say, we chucked ourselves in at the deep end really, and went, oh, we'd not actually thought about that. That's going to cost us X amount. Oh shit.
Yeah, and you need to find the money.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But then, you know, kind of every single penny that got made at Asylum 1 got plugged straight back into it, just because we were that short at the beginning. And, you know, we just put it straight back in and try and make it better and better and better. And I guess that's how we've ended up here.
I worked at, do you remember the indoor motocross track in Sheffield?
Which one, SY or SI?
SI.
SI, yeah.
I worked at SIMX, right?
Yeah.
And I remember the first day we opened, like, we had this, like...
That's probably where I know you from.
It might be, actually. It might be, you know.
I nearly killed my son on that big tabletop there.
In the middle?
Yeah.
So I like ran that place.
Yeah.
I left school almost to do that. Right. In between going to America and staying in the UK, I worked there. First day opening, grand opening, all this shit.
Yeah.
And we'd been open 10 minutes, and I'm stood outside, I'm taking people's money as they're coming in.
Yeah.
And you hear this like, bang! Someone went straight through the back door.
Through the back? Like roller shutter thing?
No, not even that, just through the wall.
Through the cladding?
Yeah, through the cladding, that's it, through the cladding. In like first 10 minutes.
Wow.
And this guy had missed like a steel girder by like inches with his head. Straight through it, throttle was stuck on the floor.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So, it's stuff like that that you don't think about though. Like, we, you know, kind of first aid and stuff like that. Like, we was kind of 2 weeks off opening at the last place and went, none of us are first aid trained. Shit. Intense first aid course, like 3-day job, like straight in, done it, got it smashed out and that. And I'm so glad we did though, because some of the accidents, man, over the years have been pretty savage. Yeah. You know, if we ever do go bust or whatever, I think I'll be a paramedic.
Really?
Like, yeah,
You ready to
straight
go?
up, I'm ready to go, man. We've seen some gnarly stuff, like, but I enjoy it though, like that side of things. But we get like kids who like knock their teeth out and bust their chins and stuff, and they'll come back and they'll bring you a thank you card and a box of chocolates and thanks for looking after me and stuff. Yeah, that's nice, isn't it?
Yeah,
like,
it is, yeah, definitely.
Well, that's where like some parks you go to, like, I would hate for a kid to have a really bad accident there, like, you know, and it's stuff like that people don't think about. Silly things like bar ends, like kids come through a door here with like bar ends sticking out on scooters, and it's like, you need to buy some bar ends, mate. Oh, bar ends, £3 bar ends, and it's like, trust me, dude, when they go through here, you will wish you'd have put some bar ends in. And
so you're a bit more like strict with that stuff now, like you've got
you've got to be so switched on with it, man, because like I say, that there was a dude in Nottingham literally 2 weeks ago. One of my friends, Adam, he didn't have a bar end in, straight through his groin, missed his old boy by a couple of inch.
Really?
Missed the main artery in his thigh by a couple of mil, and it literally went in one side and out the other. There's a video on Facebook I'll show you later of him pulling the flesh out of his bars, and it's you'll check your bar ends when you get home. But yeah, it's like little things like that, man. You've got to be switched on about, you know, and it's. But it's been a big learning curve for everything like that.
If there's like one thing, what do you think the biggest learning curve, like, or because it's so interesting, man. Like you sat here at 28, like having done all this, it's so cool.
Yeah, is it?
Do you ever think about it? Like it is cool.
It is cool. Yeah, no, there's some days where, you know, like, especially through this build, like we've had some shit days, like really kind of, where people that you didn't think would fuck you have fucked you. And it's been like, what we're doing this for? What are we doing this for? This ain't worth it. And you kind of go and sit on top of the rolling up there and look over the bowl and everything and take a deep breath and go, to be fair, that is pretty cool.
It's pretty sick.
But yeah, I don't know what the biggest learning curve is. I guess I was so narrow-minded to start with and a bit naive as to, I just wanted it to be like, every weeknight it's going to be like, my mates are going to come over, we're going to have the sickest sessions, won't have to charge them to ride because we'll be making this much money. Like, do you know what I mean? And it'll all be fine. We'll make loads of money. It'll be fine. And in reality, like, you don't make fuck all.
Do you struggle with that? Like the whole like owning this place and people coming in with your mates and being like, oh, you know.
The hardest thing for me, especially like having a sick new skate park where everybody wants to come and ride, and you're seeing your mates every night.
Yeah.
Like they're coming in every night because they want to come and ride your stuff, and taking money off of them. Absolutely breaks me. I hate it. Like there's nothing more than I would love to win the lottery and be able to just let everybody ride for free. Like I'd love to.
I can totally feel you on that. In a slightly different way, like obviously owning a bike distribution company and working with all these cool brands, people always they don't always want stuff off you. Oh, I need to get that, and you feel so bad saying, look, like someone's got to pay for this somewhere. Like, I just can't keep giving you shit all the time.
Yeah, that's it, mate. Yeah, same. Like, especially like with us with the shop stuff. It's like I'll get dudes coming in. It's like, oh, I really want a new frame, and it's like I feel terrible hitting them with an RRP. Yeah. So it's just like, oh mate, I've knocked you 50 quid off that, and then I've made fuck all, but I feel all right about it. Do you know what I mean? But it doesn't pay the bills.
No, it doesn't. Exactly. That is tough, especially in such like a passion industry as well, where you.
Yeah, and you know, but that's been a proper steep learning curve, and looking after, like, say, trying to cater for everybody is, you know, which when we was building this one was that was like my priority. Right. It was like kind of kicking drawings about because. Pretty much everybody involved with the build is a BMX rider. Yeah. So it's really easy to build good BMX stuff because we all know what we want to ride. But then we'd design this and everyone would be buzzing, and then I'd completely kick a spanner in the works and be like, inliners would fucking hate that. Yeah. And it's like, oh yeah, but it's just inliners. It's like, it's not just inliners, we've actually got a really big inline scene around here that I didn't even know existed until we opened the doors at the old place, you know? Yeah. And same with skateboarders. We know, like, the old place was absolutely shite if you was on a skateboard, unless you skated street, but the street section was tiny. Okay. Weren't that good. But then this one, it was, like I say, I kind of just wanted to make sure everybody was catered for, which makes design work so much harder. But I think, you know, we've kind of been open for 8 days.
Crazy.
Um,
Crazy.
But we did the backyard jam a little bit earlier on than that.
Yeah.
And
And how was the response from that?
amazing.
Was it?
Yeah.
I wanted to come to that, dude, but I just literally couldn't find time to come down.
Yeah. I was so nervous, man. Because nobody had even seen the park, only on pictures.
Such a good way of opening, though.
Yeah.
From a marketing perspective.
Yeah.
Opening with that.
That was it. And like backyard really didn't make us anything. Like we lost money on that, but almost it was worth it just for the wow factor for people to just kind of come in and go, holy shit.
Yeah.
Because like we'd posted photos on social media and stuff. Not loads and loads, because we kind of started posting them at the beginning of the build, and it was almost really hard to tell how big and everything was on photos. You know how it is. Like you see a photo of this compared to when you walk through the door this morning.
Yeah.
It doesn't do it no justice. No. So I kind of kept the photos like down to a minimum, and then like say people were coming in for backyard and just like walking up onto the deck where the bowl is and just literally standing with their mouths open, just like, oh my god, like. And that was such a nice feeling. Yeah. But from the first park, I was ready for the moaners. And no matter what you build, you could build the best thing in the world and there will still be somebody that has something to say. You know, that's just how the world works, isn't it, unfortunately? Yeah. So I was ready for that at Backyard. I was ready for people coming into reception like, what the fuck have you done that for? Like, but touch wood, up to yet, I say we're nearly 2 weeks in, nothing but good feedback. So
Awesome, man.
Stoked.
So crazy. It must be a trip just opening the doors after all this hard work, because you finished the build for Backyard the day that
morning. Yeah, we was opening the doors for at 9 o'clock, and we were still in here at 8:45, fucking screwing sheets down and sweeping up and finishing bits and bobs. And then after Backyard we closed again just to get the cafe and reception and everything.
Right.
I say finished, but it's not. It's habitable.
Dude, this place is sick. It's so cool.
When it's all finished, fully finished, it'll be really nice. Like it's only little finishing touches now, little snagging work, and it'd be nice to get some. We've got like some canvas. We're going to get some canvases done of like the build pictures and the team guys, and get them up and make it feel a bit more homely and stuff. But even the wall, everyone's wrote on the wall.
Yeah, I love that. I just took some photos before, so I'll throw them up on our social media of like all the nice things people have said.
I'm stoked on that.
Yeah, it's real cool. Already, it's like it's getting busy, right?
A week.
It's
crazy. But it was nice to open the doors, man. Like we've been shut. Well, we started ripping the old park out on the 1st of June.
What was the reason for moving then? Was it purely to expand, or was there like?
I was more worried than anything that we was kind of stuck in the mud where we were just because of the size of the unit. It was nice having that size unit because it was manageable. If you had a really shit month, which we do through the summer, like most summer days, if it's above 20 degrees, you're lucky if you get 5 people through.
Really?
Yeah. So it was nice having a unit that if you had a shit month, you could just about find the money to pay your rent and pay your overheads. But at the same time, kind of, we'd been there 6, coming up 7 years, and it wasn't big enough to change like the bowl side of things. If you changed that, it affected everything else, so it would be a case of ripping everything out and starting again, and it just wasn't worth it. So that's when we looked at getting. There was a building that was getting built next door to. This is how it all started. Like this.
Okay.
So we used to have some dirt jumps on the side of the old skate park, and the land that they was on, that my landlord owned, they sold, and we was like, bit of a nightmare. Got to knock all my dirt jumps down. Not the end of the world. So then this building starts going up, and on the planning application it's Taylor's Transport. So I was like, it was like just up the road from the old park.
Okay.
And I was friends with the guy that owns it, Alan. I was friends with his daughter, Beck. So I was like, it's interesting just to know what is actually being built, what's going off. So, being a cheeky little fucker that I am, walked straight into Alan's office and went, what are you building next door, mate? He was like, who are you? kind of thing. And just introduced myself and that, and got talking to him, and we actually hit it off. Like,
really?
He's like proper straight John Ball.
Right.
Swears like a trooper, a bit like myself, you know what I mean? There's no kind of, what you see is what you get kind of thing. And we just hit it off like, and he was like, oh, I've basically got a second-hand building from Scotland, bought it at the auctions, and then went, oh shit, I've got nowhere to put that. So Googled the closest land for sale around me, and that's what come up. So I bought it, and that's what I'm doing. Somewhere to put it. He's like, I ain't got a clue what I'm doing with it. I was like, oh, you're a skate park, innit? He's like, yeah. I was like, seriously? He's like, yeah, straight up. He's like, if you want it, you can have it.
Right.
I was like, right, I'll come back to you next week with some figures, and let's see what we can do, kind of thing. And yeah, that's what started the whole ball rolling. With, you know, then that'd be a phone call to Jake and to George, and there's a chance of us getting this new unit next door. What do you think?
I think you first told me that. I think
yeah.
First, but like yeah.
And then, you know, we started seeing the building go up, and Alan had an absolute nightmare with some contractors, and it basically got put back like 6 months. So we was like, kind of had this. We'd applied for some funding at the time to do the project, and then we was having to put them off. It's like, actually now this is being dropped back, that's being dropped back, and we was like, this is making us look really, really bad.
Right.
But it's nothing to do with us.
Right.
Which was a bit of a nightmare.
Yeah.
So then it got delayed, and our current landlord, who had sold the land to Alan, was a little bit salty because Alan told him that he wanted it for trailer storage. So he sold it him dirt cheap, and then he whacked a building on it. So he was a little bit salty about it.
Okay.
And then, yeah, he approached us and he was like, are you still having Alan's building? And we was like, yeah, it's, you know, we're pretty much waiting to sign the lease any day on it. All the design's done, the project's there, ready to go. He's like, well, could I chuck a bit of a spanner in the works? I was like, oh God, here we go. What are you saying? He's like, well, the go-kart track are potentially leaving next door. They're already joined to us. It's not a separate building. We won't have to mess about with any walkways. It'd be the same landlord. And it was 4 times the floor space.
Right.
So I was like, well, I'd love the go-kart track, but don't think I could afford it. You know, it's 4 times the floor space, whatever. He's like, well, I'll let you have it at what you're going to be paying for Alan's unit. Oh, God. Here we go. Like, so
Local politics.
I've rung Alan up. I'm like, I really, really don't want to piss you off here, but please see this from a business perspective, from my side of things. I'm getting 4 times the floor space for the same money. I can't not do it. He's like, nope, I fully understand. Bit of a shitter, but if that's what you need to do to make your business work, then that's what you do. Fully understand it. So I was like, right, I felt so shady at this point, you know, like, and he'd been so good with us the whole time. So when we decided we was going into the go-kart track, so then that's another phone call to Jake, to George, to John. We're actually not going into that other one, so could we do some drawings for the go-kart track? Which then kind of chucked even more spanners in the works. The roof height wasn't really that good in the go-kart track. It was same as the old skate park, you know. You could only really build big stuff right in the middle of the unit where the apex, where the eaves were really low.
Right.
So yeah, we did all the drawings again for that and everything else. And then after I told Alan that we weren't having his building, I got a phone call from current landlord, and he was like, somebody's rung us and they're willing to pay us 60 grand a year more than you're willing to pay us. What are you saying? I was like, well, thought we'd had a deal. Like, we've told him we're not having that. We've got a whole project that's kind of 3 years in the pipeline, sat here, waiting to go. And he's like, well, I can't really turn 60 grand a year more down. So I was like, so what you're telling me is that I can't have it?
Yeah.
He's like, well, yeah, pretty much. I was like, fantastic.
Jeez.
So I'm raging at this point. Rings Alan back up. I'm like, what's happening? He's like, oh, electric board's just signed on that unit for a 25-year lease. So that unit had gone as well. And our lease on the old skate park unit was up in April this year. So I was like, I've gone from having a full project that's been 3 years in the pipeline, all these drawings at everybody's time, fully wasted, and I'm not going to have a fucking building anywhere. So I was like, at this point, we was just like, that's it. We've had enough.
Yeah.
We had a really shit summer anyway. We're fed up of bailing it out. Like, let's just go and get a normal job and actually earn some money. And then Alan rung me and he was like, if you pop down to Hamilton, I rung Alan, I was like, I've been past Hamilton Road and seen that there's a lease sign on one of your buildings. He's like, it's not actually my building, I sublet it from a guy called Richard Walker. So I was like, what's the deal with it? He's like, well, I don't really need it, but I will stay in there if I have to, kind of thing. It's just I know it's up for lease because we don't really need it, kind of thing. So he's like, do you want it? I was like, you got the keys? He's like, yeah. So I had to go back and grovel in his office again after letting him down on the first one, like, and be like, sorry mate, like, took him a fucking box of Earl Grey and some fucking, he loves Earl Grey, took him a box of Earl Grey and some cream cakes, and kind of, grovelled a little bit. And came down here and I was like, fuck me, like, this is better than all three of the others put together. Right. So it's all in one building. Yeah. There's no roof height issues. It's in a fucking prime location. So that's how I ended up here.
Jeez.
And Alan was like, he's like, if you want it, I'll pull out and you can get cracking. So then we had to go back to Sport England and all the other people that we'd had this project running with for like the third or fourth time, and be like, there's actually another change of plan. We've never had funding from these people. So at this point, really? I'm feeling like an absolute
So at this
knob.
point, you've pretty much self-funded?
Yeah, up until like coming into here, everything was self-funded.
Right.
So I'm really wanting to make an impression on these guys, like, just to prove a point that I can do it, and I'm not an idiot, and I'm having to ring them on the monthly basis like there's been a change of plan. And it's not just a little change of plan, we're completely fucking moving. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I've just got pictures of this dude sat in this office at the other end like, this fucking idiot's on the phone again. Like, do you know what I mean?
How much this time?
But then, like, he came, like, he'd already been out to the old park and seen what we were about, and met me and my mum, and we was just like, look, everything that's gone wrong isn't our fault. We can't help it. We've just been fucked in so many ways. And he understood that fully. And he's like, I'm fully behind you. Like, I understand what you're trying to do. I can see that you know what you're doing with it. Yeah. And I think what you're trying to do is awesome. So he was, he's been absolutely mint, our case manager from Sporting. He has been so good. And then that led on to funding from a few other places and vice versa. And we bought some wood and started here.
It's easy as that. And that's a wrap. No, it's just obviously it's a big thing as well, getting kids here, getting them off the streets, getting them off playing Xbox and all that stuff.
That's it, man. I get more enjoyment now than riding my bike. Yeah, I'm over it. Like, it hurts too much. My body's knackered. Like, them years of motocross have caught up, man. Like, my knees are done, my hips are done. I'm just in a pickle, man.
I feel you.
So, I get way more enjoyment now out of seeing the progression of the locals, not just the kids. Like, even like we get adults through. We've got a guy that comes that's in his 60s, comes on his BMX every week, man. Absolutely stoked to come and ride. Awesome. And like, I just buzz off it now, And when people come out the park and they've had a sick session and they'll come and give you a fist bump, it's like, oh man, thanks for having me. And that, it's like, that's what keeps you going, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Do you ride much then?
No, not as much as I should.
I think that's definitely one of those things that I've spoke about it before on the podcast with different people, that just because like you work in it, it's almost not harder to ride, but
you mix work and play, dude, and
that's the thing. I feel like, especially when we started Hook It, you get into it like, oh, I'm going to get to ride my bike all the time, I'm going to go ride here, there and everywhere, but then the reality of it is it becomes a job. And you see it every day. Like you hear every day, you see people doing mad shit every day. Literally,
the only person I know that works in this industry and still rides every day is Tom Justice.
Really? Yeah. Who works here still, right?
Tom. He'll work at the park all week. Then he'll ring me or message me on the days off. He's like, dude, I'm going to go ride such and such. You coming? It's like, mate, it's my day off. The last thing I'm going to do is spend it in a fucking skate park. I'm going fishing on my own where there's nobody that can pester me. I'm going to go and sit on myself because that's all I enjoy doing. I go carp fishing and that's me. Like, that's why I'm getting fat. So, but no, it's like...
It's crazy how it changes, doesn't it? Because you'll have probably got into it going, oh, I get to ride my bike, I get to ride every day with my best friends.
We did, at the old park, like when we first opened, we rode every day for like a year, like religiously. Yeah. Even before work,
you basically selfishly built yourself a skate park.
Pretty much, yeah. That's what we did, yeah. But and then Hurt my shoulder a little bit at the old park and had a few months off there. Got used to being sat on my arse. One thing led to another.
Right.
But yeah, I've done a few laps in here, like since we've finished building. But that's the other thing as well. Like you're kind of that busy throughout the build. Like the fucking hours that we've done, mate, is insane. Yeah. And you're kind of slogging your bollocks out to get finished. And then it does open, and you've got the busiest 6 months of your life with customers coming through the door. So you're flat out serving that, and then it comes to having a spare 2 hours, and it's like, I'm going to go and ride my bike, and then you get in the bowl, and you're taking off, and your brain's not working as fast as it should, and you're in the air. It's like, oh fuck, I'm in the air. Like, what am I doing up here? So it's just like you're that tired, you don't want to ride because you'll just hurt yourself. So
strange, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's a weird thing when you really think about it. Because I think about it all the time. You know.
Yeah.
I should really go for a ride today, especially at weekends. I'll be open. I'm like, gets the weekend. I don't want to sit bike. Like I've spoke about it all week. I'm stressed because of it.
Yeah.
I need to get away for a bit. Do you know what I mean? Like
that's it, man.
I think as you get older, you get a bit more mindful of like, right, I just need to get away.
Right. Yeah.
Just keep try and keep the fire stoked. And,
that's it. That's why I just go fishing, mate. Honestly, straight up. It's just my chill time, you know. And obviously, I spend time. I've got a little family now as well. Like my missus has got a son. Yeah. And kind of took him in, you know, and like that's been a whole different.
Dude, you're the best dad ever. Look at this place.
That was my approach of it. I was like, I'm the coolest stepdad in the world.
Sure.
Like, you can ride this whenever you want. But no,
not even going to charge you.
yeah. Well, like he's, you know, he's a little dude, man.
Cool.
Like, it's kind of took 2.5 years to get, you know, we're getting progress with that though. That's nice though now. You know, I can go home and do family things, and I've got. You know, I've had it in the past where I've been with girls that kind of, you know, they like the idea that you've got a business and vice versa. They think you're going to have loads and loads of money, and it turns out you haven't. And then when you're at work, literally 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, it then becomes a problem.
Yeah. Mate, there's not many like girls and stuff that'll stick by you through that stuff.
No, you know? And like same like we're like to my mum and dad, and like we don't have a social life pretty much because we work the most antisocial hours. We work 10 till 8 on a Saturday and Sunday, and we work 3 till 10 in the week. Yeah. So while everyone's at work, we're sat at home doing bookkeeping, you know, going cash and carry, bits and bobs, and stocking the shop up and bits and bobs.
That's all the shit that no one else sees,
that nobody else sees.
The doors open at 3 and shut at 10.
Yeah, that's it. They come in and you're sat behind the reception desk and they're like, oh, he's just been sat here all day doing nothing, like just taking money off people. So if only you fucking knew, brother. Well, no, it's like, and to have like, you know, my mum and dad like understanding, they've grafted and fucking they work them daft hours, and my dad's insane, Davey, honestly. Really? Like I can't even put it into words. I've never met a man that loves working like my dad does. Really? He just can't stop. Like through the build here, he starts. I
didn't ever met your dad. So your dad's got a 9 to 5 as well.
9 to 5, yeah. So he's at Terry Smith's knocking coffins up, building coffins. So we'll get up at 5 in the morning, get to work for 6, work till 4. Drive here, get here for 5, and then work here till 10.
Animal.
Literally. And then just go home, have a few hours sleep, straight back to work. And like, we are all so burnt out after this build. Like, now the doors are open, I'm kind of sat behind reception. Well, not sat behind reception, I'm like kind of getting people signed in and all the names and stuff. And like, my dad's still coming in. He's like, right, this needs doing, that needs doing, what's doing this, what? I'm like, dude, have a week off. You're gonna fucking die. Chill out.
Old school mentality, man.
Mate, it's like different. Yeah.
Hustler mentality.
It's crazy. Like I say, the fact that they're willing to do that and do the hours and everything is.
It's weird because we've got like quite a similar upbringing. I think same with like my dad. He's just non-stop. You know, non-stop. My granddad worked till he was like 83.
Yeah.
He'd been his own boss since he left school. My dad's same. Like they had the business together, doing car mechanic stuff and car sales.
Yeah.
And you know, my granddad, I think it was a week or maybe 14 days, something like that, before he died, still at work.
Still at work, yeah.
Still at work, just won't stop.
Dude, my granddad's same. My granddad's on his last legs at the minute, bless him. He's got pancreatic cancer.
Right.
He should have been dead about 1.5 years by rights, but he's just a resilient old bugger, like. But he's like, you know, mid-80s, and he's still driving down here to come and have a look, and he's like walking around the park. He's like, how do you do that then? Who's doing that? Shouldn't he be doing that? And you know what I mean? And he's like, can't I get on tools? It's like, no. Like at the old park, the original one, like before he was ill, like he was in there laying blocks still.
Is he really?
Chucking breeze blocks down, like smashing it, mate. And
you're lucky as well, though, man. You've got that family like that.
Yeah, but they come, you know, we come from a build like. I'm lucky that they come from a building background. Like we had family builders all this life. You know, that's what they did.
Yeah.
Had a building firm, and then when that went under, they went self-employed, and they've come from that background. So that's been really, really handy throughout the build with stuff. Like we've saved so much money with stuff that we can do ourselves.
Yeah.
Like even daft things like with the metalwork and stuff for the copings and that, because me and Tom come from fabrication backgrounds.
Right.
It's saving money there and bits and bobs. Like I think we sat down and kind of just for laughs battered numbers about it the other day, and I think if like any like random person was to come and take on a project like this, you'd be kind of 600-700 grand
really
plus. And for the amount of money that we've spent for what we've got is insane. But that's just because I've got the friends around me and my family around me that are willing to kind of, like I say, it's just been a proper team effort, man. You know. And
your network is your net worth, man.
And
and a lot of the time it's not what you know, it's who you know.
It's too right, dude. And like I say, it's almost like some days when people come in, like when you come in, it's like, dude, this is yours. Like you're such a, like you must be stoked. It's like I am, but at the same time, it's not just me. Like, do you know what I mean? It's and then, you know, my dad and all other lads will kind of give me a kick up the arse sometimes. It's like you take nowhere near enough credit for. But I find that
that's why it's cool sometimes though, to sit down and have a chat with someone about it. But look at this, like look what we've done. Like,
that's
created. It's gnarly.
Well, even the fact that like the majority of the build like now has been through my mates, and I've managed to put money in their pockets for skills that they've got. Yeah. Which they're fucking skilled men, man. You know what I mean? Like, especially Jake. I keep going back to Jake 'cause he blows my mind. The dude's insane. Like, he's absolutely. And George is probably like I don't even know how to explain George. You need to meet him.
Really?
You need to meet George.
He'd be a good podcast guest, I think.
He would be such a good podcast guest. Yeah. They have done some cool shit, man.
Let's make it happen.
Proper cool stuff. I will make that happen.
Let's make it happen.
But he does some proper cool stuff. They've actually just opened their own park as well.
That's right, I saw that. Because those guys all live with, or maybe they don't live with, but do they not live with like Danny Mac, Ali C, and Ricky
John does.
They all live together, right?
Yeah, so John and George are business partners in Vision. Yeah. And John lives with Danny.
In Danny's flat?
In Danny's flat.
Yeah,
with Ali and everyone,
I thought so.
Which was dead surreal, because when me and Jake went and lived up in Scotland for a little while, so when he used to come over, he always used to nag on at me. He's like, oh, get in the van, dude, come up, let's go and ride some parks in Scotland and go see the boys and that. And I went up there a couple of years back and seen everyone hung out at unit, and then we went and stayed at Danny's flat, and it's like you kind of sat there in the morning just eating a slice of toast, and Danny's sat opposite you. And he's the most humble dude in the world. He is amazing.
All those guys. I'm ticking all that flat off. So I've done. Danny Mac Ricky Crompton was the first person on the podcast out of that group. Then Ali C, Duncan Shaw. Yeah. Danny Mac.
Yeah, we need to get John on then with George.
Yeah, exactly. We need to tick them all off.
Do the whole flat.
Yeah. And there's just the one guy who works for the BBC, I think, who lives in that flat. I can't remember.
Yes.
He does something like that. He's not involved in riding, let's put it that way.
Them boys, they do some proper cool stuff. And I mean, the park that they've just built at the loading bay in Glasgow is complete polar opposite to what we've got here. Okay. But the type of riding in that area demands a different skate park. Right. It's more street stuff.
I don't think that was open to the public yet, is it? Or is
just?
Is it?
Yeah. But check it out on the social media, man. Everyone, like, it's a proper cool build, man. Really? Like, it's almost like their party piece. Obviously, like they do this shit for a living, man. So that place is like.
How many skate parks are opening up then? Like, are they busy? I mean, that sort of company, or? Is this sort of thing busy now, like with skate parks popping up?
They're popping up here, there and everywhere, but they almost seem to pop up for 2 or 3 years. Then the people behind it go,
this was hard.
This actually doesn't make any money, and it's way harder than I thought. And then they close. And
we see with bike shops over the last sort of few years.
Of course
everyone's got into it.
It's got to be a labour of love. If you're not here because you want to do it and support the scene and the industry, then you're absolutely pissing in the wind. Because if you're just here for the money, then it's really not about that. You know. But yeah, John and George keep busy with other things, man. They do some really cool stuff. So I actually went and did some work for him. Like there was a couple of weeks on this build where we was waiting on funding coming.
Right.
Like we'd been in and built what we could build. We was waiting on the next batch of funding coming to order the materials and stuff. And they did. Have you seen the latest video with Chris Kyle in Denmark?
Yes.
Where he does all the riding around over different landmarks.
Yeah, I have.
So George was. They were really, really busy with the loading bay and other little bits, and they were struggling for guys. And George rung me. He was like, "Dude, I know you're quiet at the minute. Would you mind going out to Denmark with Jake to do that for Chris?"
Oh, wow.
So I was like, "Fuck yeah, of course I will. That would be sick, man."
Yeah,
Do you know what I
yeah,
mean? And
He did that then?
yeah, we went out there
Wow.
and built all that stuff for Chris. Like there was some savage shifts on
Yeah.
there. Like them boys, fucking work.
Really?
Mate. Yeah, like. We went from this. There was a job at the aquarium shoot. We went from the one on the roller coaster, built that in a night, full night shift, took it back down because the theme park was opening the next morning. Bundled it all in the van, and then drove to the next shoot and rebuilt that. So it was like 52 hours or something into this shift, absolutely knackered. And at this point was before I went on my little vegan thing,
Oh, right.
which has only been a few weeks.
Lifestyle change.
Yeah. At that point, I was still living off 3 McDonald's a day, like I have for the past fucking 10 years. That's why I'm, I'm on the cusp of heart disease. So we were doing these like long ass shifts, and like these guys from Red Bull and all these athletes coming like with these vegan healthy little pots of salad and shit, and they're like, "Oh, do you want some food?" And I'm like, "I just want a fucking cheeseburger." Like I've been awake for so long, giving me some shit food.
It's like the worst thing.
But yeah, but at the same time, we had the best time out there, like seeing the best sights and hanging out with cool people, and it was so good, man. And like I say, that just having them. Getting to do that through knowing them boys is insane, but that's what they keep themselves busy with. They do them projects, and they've stepped out into Hollywood.
Oh, really?
They're doing sets for, I'm not saying too much, but a few really big films.
Okay.
So yeah, they're so good though. Like cool. John and George go out of their way to make sure that you're all right, if that makes sense. They go above and beyond. Yeah. I think that's what makes them different to everybody else, like in the whole thing. Like, it's more than just them coming and doing you a job. Like they care, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like George, I learned, especially at the first park, I learned so much from George.
Okay.
And John, like sitting down with them at night when we got back to the house and eating food, and it's like, have you thought about this? Have you thought about this? Because at the time, I think George does still live at Unit 23 skate park. And obviously Chick's been open there for 15, 16 plus years, I think, off the top of my head.
Right.
Got it dialed, proper BMX heritage. Like, that is the shit up there. Like, if you want to go and experience BMX in Scotland, you go to Unit. Okay. People travel from everywhere just to go stay at Unit,
Yeah.
So from living there and growing up and seeing what's happened over the years, and they kind of had so much good input to us, and that was to say more than them just coming and being like, "Oh yeah, you owe us this amount of money for that work that we've done." Do you know what I mean? That was,
Yeah.
So there's
more to
such sick dudes, man. But to be able to kind of carry on giving them work, and I say, and giving my other mates work here and there, and we're trying everything that we build, we've tried to kind of either upcycle or we've kept it local businesses and try and keep the money in.
Yeah,
your
mum was saying even like the windows and all that sort of stuff, like local.
Everything, mate. Yeah, like even just from like everything that came out of the old building, of the old skate park, is in here.
All right.
Which blows my mind a little bit to think that we'd literally just picked it up and bought it down here. Especially like the big teardrop on the side of the first jump box in there. We bought that as a full piece.
Right.
Like Jake managed to cut it out and stand it on end and put it on a low loader. And it literally just went through that roller shutter door by, there was like an inch either side of it. Yeah, man, it was a big piece.
Jeez.
But yeah, and like even my mate Phil, he's got his HGV license. He doesn't do that, but he just did his license back in the day. And Alan, who put us onto this building, owns Taylor's Transport.
Right.
His mates with Phil.
Right.
So Phil rung him and was like, "Jack's moving the skate park, could we hire a wagon?" And I was like, "Yeah." So take what you want.
Really?
Literally just went up to the yard, grabbed the fucking low loader whenever we wanted it, chucked what we need to do, didn't charge me a penny. Like,
amazing.
And it's little things like that, man, that and then
It's such a cool thing for like you were saying, like the community as well, of just getting kids off streets, man, and like out doing shit.
that's it.
How's the funding thing been?
Hard.
Yeah. 'Cause that's a whole world of its own, isn't it? It's like trying to pitch for funding.
It's a full job. That is a full-time job on itself. Is the funding side of things is mental. And my mum she doesn't take nowhere near as much credit as she should for what she's achieved with that, because she's done such a good job.
Yeah.
Like, it's been a team effort, you know. But like when it actually comes down to sitting and typing up and paperwork, mum does that.
Right.
And she smashes it.
Yeah.
But then on the flip side, we've had private funding. A guy that we met through the skate park, which was a really, really bizarre story. So we're set up as a charity.
Yep.
We've got 3 people that aren't connected to us other than we know them. Like, they're not connected family ways. They run the charity for us. Free of charge, don't ask for anything. Fucking... It blows my mind that they're up for doing that. Do you know what I mean?
It's really cool.
Like, taking time out of their lives to come and like, especially through the build. And like, Sarge has been, like, I call him Sarge. Simon is the chairman of a charity, but he's got a driveway company, and he does a lot of slabbing and big patios and stuff.
Yeah.
Busy as out, and he still comes and helps out down here. He'll finish work, drive down here, and he's on the brush, on the tools. Built us all the disabled access ramps and everything free of charge. It just. Yeah. Such a sick dude. Well, Sarge knew James, the guy that we've had the private funding from. Yeah. Knew him from school.
Okay.
Not seen him for years and years. Sarge happened to be sat in the old cafe having a coffee one Sunday morning, and James has walked in. He's like, "Hey, mate, how's it going?" kind of thing. And they got talking, and like Sarge was like, "Oh, well, I actually help out, like, with the charity side of stuff." Yeah. And James was like, "Oh, I'm actually now in a position where I'd like to help." So then, obviously, it introduced me to James. And to start with, it was, like, too good to be true.
Okay.
So I've met this guy. It actually happened, like, Sarge come out and he's like, "You best go upstairs into the cafe, your mum's up there crying." I'm like, "Why? What the fuck's happened?" Like, who's upset her? He's like, no, it's good. Like, there's one of my friends from school's up there and he wants to help you out. Will you? And so I'd just started walking into the skate park to go and, like, see what was happening. As James was coming the other way, like, and he's like, looked at me. And he's like, "You're Jack, aren't you?" I went, "Yeah, why?" He's like, "I just knew it. Just from, like, I don't know why." And he's like, "Come outside for a minute, I chat like." And he's like, "What do you need?" I was like, "Fucking hell, a miracle." Like, pretty much.
Really? Well, like, this business was tough at this time.
We was halfway through summer. There'd been no one through the door. We was pretty much like 2 weeks away from shutting. Like, really? We'd been paying wages every month, and there was kind of, after wages and rent had been paid, there was like £3 left in the pot. Do you know what I mean? Me and mum had had no wages for 4 or 5 months, just struggling by, you know. Yeah. And he was like, "What do you need?" I was like, "Dude, there's a list as long as my arm." He's like, "I've got all the time in the world, mate. Tell me what you need." So we kind of sat and batted a few little ideas about and stuff, and. He's like, "I'll be in touch anyway." And that was it. He like left, and I was like, "I'm never gonna hear from that guy again." Do you know what I mean? Yeah, like, that was too good to be true. Yeah. Lo and behold, next morning I'm at work, and phone rings. He's like, "Hey mate, it's James from this." I'm like, "Hey mate, are you all right?" He says, "No, not really." "Why? What's up?" He's like, "I've not slept all night, thinking about your fucking skate park." And I was like, "Oh, sorry." Like, he's like, "No." He's like, "Can I come and see you again today?" I'm like, "Yeah, if you want to." He's come over and he's like, basically bought me a blank cheque. He's like, "Write on there, not what you want, but what you need." Like, "All right, what you want on it if you want to. I'm not bothered." Like, and kind of put on there, and it just kind of gave us a little bit of a comfort zone, just to got us through summer. And there was like. You remember the old window at the old skate park in reception, the big one? Yeah. I always wanted that from day one, but we could never afford to do it. Oh, right. So we paid for that. Wow. Kind of rebranded everything a little bit. Yeah. Got us a nice signing in system and shit like that. Okay. Just little things that you don't think about. It was like paper before, whereas now it's digital. Yeah, now it's all digital, which makes things so much easier. Like, if somebody has an accident, you can click their name, it brings all their emergency contact details up, and the allergies, whatever you need to tell the ambulance guys or whatever, is just there. Yeah. And it works so much better. Bit of a ball ache getting people used to the idea of booking sessions online and, you know, doing online disclaimers. but once they get their head around it, they're all right. And, but yeah, he kind of came and did all that, and so like at this point, I'm like, what do you want from me? Like, what do you want out of me? He's like, nothing. Don't want anything.
Wow.
And he's like, I just want a bit of your time. I'm like, mate, I am all ears. I've got all the time in the world. I'll come and sit with you every single day for every hour just to listen to you because of how successful he's been with what he does.
Almost like a mentor coming into
That's what he wanted.
Right?
That's all he wanted. He's like, let me be kind of your mentor from a business. He's like, I can obviously see you know about the industry, you know what you're doing, but let me make you a better businessman.
Awesome. Because at this point, like
yeah, straight. Yeah, like I was, we was
kind
of probably 3-4 years into the old park, and I'd learnt little bits here and bits there as you go, and then I kind of met him, and that took it to the next level and opened my eyes to a whole new side of business.
Yeah.
And can't thank him enough. He's like he's part of the family now, like we're part of his family, he's part of our own, and it's just like we're going to see each other at Christmas, and we'll go out for beers and just hang out, and we've ended up being really, really good mates for it. And like seeing him come in here and his eyes light up with what we've built, and seeing kind of what he's put his money into, and seeing the kid, like the main thing for him is getting the kids in and stuff, and he's such a fucking genuinely nice dude, mate.
And he must be, to be in his shoes as well. I think that's something that we all sort of dream of. It is for me.
For me,
love to be able to just be able to walk in here and go, what can I do to help you?
Yeah, I'd love nothing more than to be in a position.
But you're doing it in a way. Like, you might not be doing it like writing checks or whatever,
yeah, that's it. Yeah,
you're giving kids opportunity, getting them off the streets.
Yeah, that's
giving them purpose.
That's sometimes
massive.
I kind of have to remember that is that's when you're grafting every day. You get a bit sucked into it all. Sometimes you just have to kind of take a step back and be like, what we're doing here is actually good.
Yeah.
We've got Olympic potential coming through the team, and there's mixed feelings about that in the BMX industry with the Olympics and stuff. And I see both sides of the story, but I don't know. I think it can only be good. Like at the end of the day, if it's gonna kind of open it up to more people, it's as industry, if it's selling more bikes and getting more people in bike shops and more people in skate parks, then I'm all for it. I think I don't really know too much about the ins and outs of the politics of it and stuff. No doubt there's endless amounts of politics involved with who's on teams and all that shit. But as far as TV coverage goes, it can only be a good thing for the sport. I think. There's only so much. There's always going to be that underground BMX scene. I think. And
whole,
that'll never
not
change.
scruffy clothes, but like, do you know what I mean? That look.
Yeah, of course.
There's always going to be that. But I don't know.
It's kind of it's gone that way anyway. Even before the Olympics have even been mentioned, BMX is kind of divided. Like, you've got your trails riders that nobody ever sees because they're always up the trails, doing their own thing, just riding the bikes because they want to ride the bikes and have fun. Then you've got your street riders that don't want to,
It's like skateboarding, man. I think there's, the skate fashion thing is crazy because you've got that like real core skate group, which always maybe buys one board a year or whatever. But then you've got like your Nia Houston sort of, trendy flash cars. There's always going to be that. Right? But
and you've got your kids that will go and buy a Thrasher hoodie and the fucking sickest setup just to carry it around city centre. Look like they know what they're doing. And
there's always going to be that.
But it's kind of the same with BMX, You've got your park guys that want to come and bash resi tricks out fucking 12 hours a day doing triple whips over a resi box and putting it on Instagram. And then you've got your street riders that are kind of proper underground fucking
flip phones.
Flip phones still got their dad's camcorders because it looks cool as fuck. Do you know what I mean? Like that's and I don't think the Olympics are going to change like anything to do with that. Then the core BMX riders are still going to be core BMX riders. It's just going to make it so they have actually still got somewhere to ride at the end, in 10 years' time. It means that there's going to be money available for places like us to stay open, And I think that's really important because if that money's there and it helps, then too right.
It can only be a good thing.
Yeah.
So like before we wrap up, dude, what's the future going like for this place? You mentioned before like Woodward and what they're doing with dorms and all that shit.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Is that something that's, I don't know, is it possible, do you think, is anyone doing that in the UK?
If somebody would let me do it,
I
would love to put some dorms in and kind of make it so, guys that do want to travel, it's not a ball ache, they can come and stay with us for a week and stuff, and it'd be really nice. And I'd really like, I would like a little bit more room. Is that bad to say?
Maybe.
I filled this
it's
already,
been 8 days, dude.
I know, but You know,
Mate, keep moving. The thing is, like, you can tell from your personality and stuff. Keep moving forward, dude. Like,
yeah,
you never get complacent, do you, in a business? You never just go, "This is it, we're done."
I think that at the point you do, where you think to yourself, you know what, I've made it, I've done all right here, you're fucked.
Yeah,
Like,
I totally agree.
Totally
agree.
I'm constantly worried, like that. You know, this could be better, that could be better, but I wouldn't want it any other way.
No.
But there's also another unit, that side of that wall, that's the same size as this.
Really?
So,
Holy shit.
who knows?
What sort of size are we working with here?
30,000 square foot, this one.
30,000 square
yeah.
foot. Okay. All right. And as far as like UK scale, one of the biggest?
Yeah, Corby's way bigger still.
Right. That's multiple buildings.
Biggest in Europe,
well?
multiple buildings.
Yeah.
I think sometimes that bites me in the arse a little bit though with multiple buildings because it's really hard to get an atmosphere in there.
Yeah.
And a vibe.
Okay.
But like fully hats off to them, you know.
Yeah.
They set the bar and I don't think the whole industry would be what it is today without them because they've kept it going when everybody else has been shut or whatever, fucking fair play. And like even to the ramp builders down there, you know, to Sean and everyone, they do a sick job. Like
cool.
They're good guys, you know.
Yeah.
And I think that everybody should help each other, as you know, especially with that. Like we're close to this onboard skatepark at Sheffield, and we try and send as much custom their way as we can, as well as this, you know.
Like the tours are pretty cool. I can't remember what it was called, the last one. What was it called? There was one unit, it's shut now, isn't it? Unit 360.
Yeah.
But there was a tour that sort of went around 3-4 different skate parks. That was pretty dope.
I don't know who that is. Some random people just walked into the door.
got some guests, got some audience coming in.
Yeah, I don't know.
Can you go check it out?
Don't know where my mother is. She'll grab them.
Okay.
But yeah, I can't remember where we were. Oh yeah, the unit tours.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was sick.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, they were cool. Like, and you know, there's nobody's ever gonna just ride one skate park. And I think you're really naive if you think that they are. It's like, if you think you can build something that's so sick that nobody's going to want to go anywhere else, then you're completely wrong. Like, you know, and it's cool. It's another option, though. People want to. Yeah, so people want to kind of, you know, they'll come and ride here, and then if they go ride on board, they'll go ride Corby, and you know, but then that's bringing progression of riding on as well, because they're riding different things, and it's like you can't turn up. It's all right being really sick at your local, but if you start, say, riding Feast or Simple Session and NAS and places like that where it's a specific design, like a built course for that event, you turn up there and go, oh, I can ride Asylum really well, but not so good here.
Yeah.
You know,
that's, for sure.
All right, mate.
Brought your machine back.
Machine?
Big yellow machine.
Oh, it's Richard Walker's, is it not? Yeah. It probably just won't leave him down in that bottom yard, pal.
Bottom yard?
Yeah, mate. Yeah.
You just said drop it here, so.
I don't know what I thought when he said drop it here.
It's strange.
Yeah, we ain't got nowhere to put it, mate. We filled it full of ramps.
I never get it round ramps. It's not that powerful.
It's alright, isn't it?
Yeah.
Laugh, but
You live on a podcast as well if you want to.
I don't want to be a superstar.
Don't master banners,
See you
Cheers,
later.
pal.
Hey, you ruined me.
Amazing.
But yeah, like I say, I think it's good that everybody kind of should get on with each other.
Yeah, for sure. Dude, it's been a blast just sitting and chatting, dude, like riffing out, right?
Yeah, sick, man.
People who don't already, like, where's the park? Like, let's
we're
send people this way.
Sutton in Ashfield, which is Nottinghamshire.
Yeah. Easy access.
Dead easy access.
Easy access.
Straight off the M1 down the A38.
Okay.
Dum. Yeah.
Okay.
Come and see us. Come
Yeah, for
come have
sure.
a brew. Come do some laps.
There's going to be some people come, I reckon.
Mountain bike friendly. A lot of parks aren't mountain bike friendly nowadays, which
Clean your tyres, but we're friendly.
fully don't get. Like, there's one in Notts just banned mountain bikes, and his argue was like, do you know Rob Welch?
Yeah.
Well, Rob's like local to here, like, you know, such a fucking savage rider, and he used to promote this other skate park really well. He used to really try and help him out.
Okay.
And turned up one day and was like, "You're not coming in, mate." It's like, "Your bike's dangerous." He's like, "Hang on a minute, like, I got a hydraulic disc brake on this thing that stops on a fucking dime."
Yeah.
There's dudes in there on fucking sketchy little BMXs with no brakes on. How the fuck is my bike more dangerous?
Really?
But yeah, straight up banding. But yeah, mountain bike friendly. Like we get some of the best sessions, man. When like Cade and Chaos and like Hockers, Rat and all them boys are over. Just watching them boys go off, mate. Fucking they are nutters, man, aren't they? I love it.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, it's sick, man. But everyone kind of gets on. Like, there's not a clash between mountain bikers and BMX and everything. Like, and like Tom working here, Tom's always keen for a
Tom's
session.
a shredder. Eh? Tom's killing it at the minute.
He's fucking unreal, man.
Tom's
like,
killing it. He's coming on the podcast too. We've been going back and forth for a bit, making this happen.
He's
cool
like,
to do it here, actually. Sit here.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah,
It'd be
sick.
cool.
Feel free, man.
We can
He's but yeah, he's the most underrated BMX rider, man.
Dude, he's killing it.
Fucking insane. But he's always keen for a session, so like he gets stoked when them boys come in and they're like up for sending it, man. He's like buzzing, and then the atmosphere is just buzzing, and it's just nice, man.
Sick, amazing. And Instagram at the Asylum Park, is that right?
At the _Asylum skatepark.
Okay, all right. Obviously, there's links and everything in the show description for everyone listening to go to the website.
Sick.
I'll put everything. Everything's there. Like people just go check this place out.
Appreciate it, man.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you for taking time out, dude.
No, thanks for having me.
All the best. I hope it goes as good as what it looks.
Yeah, sick, man.
If it does, you're killing it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, fuck, man. Yeah, fingers crossed it does. If not, then like I say, we'll get a normal 9 to 5 and actually earn some money. Yeah. So yeah, bless, man. Thank you.
Easy. Thank you. Done. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for listening to another episode of the Hook It podcast. If you don't already, go follow at the _Asylum skatepark on the gram. But even better than that, have a wobble over there. Take your skateboard, your bike, rollerblades, scooter, whatever it is. Take your kids, take your parents, take your grandmum, take the whole goddamn family. But go check out the Asylum skatepark. And if you do see Jack, give him a high five from me and say what's up. Once again, it's the end of the year, so a massive thank you to everybody out there who helps make this podcast a reality, that keeps the lights on, that keeps the dream alive. You know who you are, whether you work in marketing at one of our show sponsors at Saks, Works, Red Bull Spect, Muckoff, whether you are somebody like Zeb, who's provided us with some show music, one of the guests. Most importantly, though, the listeners, thank you for your continued support. It is much, much appreciated. Looking forward to bringing you guys more of the same in 2020. And if you don't already, follow us on Instagram and Facebook. It's at the Hook It, which is HKT podcast. And if you have enjoyed this episode or any episode, share it with your friends. You could win yourself a pair of Saks underwear. And last but not least, entries are open to vote for your guest of the year. There's a bunch of guests. I'm not going to get into them right now, but they range from... Man, I mean, God, who have we had this year? Joe Bowman, Jace McAlpine from Gypsy Tales, Win Masters, Duncan Shaw, Veronique Sandler, Ty Woofenden, Iago Garay, Matt Ragg, Alex Trimnell from Muckoff, Ben Planger, G Milner. The list goes on and on. If there's any of those episodes that you have enjoyed, please give them a vote. You could win yourself a bunch of goodies as well. Going to be revealing the prizes a little bit closer to the time of unveiling the winner. There's also a Listener of the Year stem cap up for grabs too. So that's it, guys. That's a wrap. I'm bambling on. My throat hurts and I'm sick of talking. Enjoy the rest of your week. Have a great Christmas and a happy new year, one and all. Big love.
Calling home my secrets, calling home my pink veil, calling home my misspelled lies, holding on to shadows, falling into black holes. All I need is a little light, and that light calls me. Never forget to feel. Never forget to feel. Never forget to feel. Never forget to feel. Calling home my secret. I can't.